Hey guys, it's Oggy back again with another video. I'm just going to get straight into what's happening this week. First of all, a couple of negatives. I have some dinos on the sandbed. Now, I've just added a bunch of live rock in my brother's tank, so there's clearly been a slight die-off. I've checked my parameters. No sign of it, but obviously there is if there's some there. Secondly, my hammer coral is a bit more retracted than normal, and that is simply because, boom, I got this big ass power head in there and it's extremely strong. It's actually set on the lowest setting and my RW8s are now being halved. Now I have the return and there's two RW8s running against this one pump on the lowest setting, and yeah, extreme flow. But the plus side is crap loads of detritus has been pushed from my tank. I'm getting great surface agitation, and I'm also getting even better SPS growth and polyp extension. As you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see it from week in, week out, but the Monty is growing. This new Salipora, I'll never get these names right, is growing. All these little guys are growing. The GSP's gone ape bananas. The rest of my corals don't mind it whatsoever. Over here, the coral I fragged 3 weeks ago is encrusting on the plugs. Also, this guy here, this is the guy that I thought was suffering from STN, RTN, whatever. I chopped him up. Looks a bit white, still alive. I fed some Reef Labs polyp booster, and it actually had extended its tentacles, feeders, polyps, whatever you want to call it, and it is doing fine. Down here, sorry the glass is dirty down there. All the little frags are alive and kicking, and as you guys can see, my RW8s look brand new. I simply just soaked them in vinegar for a couple of hours and then cleaned it off with a brush, and that has also increased their flow. The yellow guy is still over here and is still loving life. Now the fish are all excited because I've turned off the return pump, and they're most likely extremely hungry. As you guys can see, I'm still getting excellent growth from my SPS. So with the clownfish eggs, they've laid a second batch of eggs, and now that second batch of eggs hatched last night. Unfortunately, again, I don't have the time to keep up with these guys. If you guys just quickly do a little bit of research into clownfish breeding and raising clownfish fry, you will see how hard it actually is to raise these guys, especially here where it's extremely hard to find phytoplankton cultures and all that good stuff that you need these guys to survive on. There is some possible, I think I've heard, cultures of rotifers. You can just feed them directly, so they don't have to do the green baths. Again, you'd have to have a second tank on luck. There's just too much flow in here. All in all, everything is doing really good. This horn coral is actually growing, which is pretty cool. It's just been broken multiple times. It is really brittle, but really puffy. This guy is starting to scroll, as you guys can see. And this red Monty I thought wasn't doing much at all, but is actually starting to crust there. It's funny how, there we go, that's a better shot. It looks a lot better in real life. The brain coral is still kicking out. All in all, the tank is doing extremely well. All the fish are fat, happy and healthy. All the coral is growing. No big major changes. Oh, to the dosing. I actually decreased the aquaforest to 80 ml now instead of 100 per solution daily. Currently my magnesium has dropped to 1280, which I'm actually fine with, and my calcium and my alkalinity are high. And you guys might be wondering, why is that? Well, we had 2 extremely hot days, and me being the lazy person I am, I never properly cleaned the calc out of my reservoir, and I just kept adding fresh RO water. And again, we had 2 really hot days, and a bunch of still calc mix basically got dumped into the tank and raised my DKH to 9 and my calcium to like 460. So that is directly my fault. I should have washed it. I still haven't. I'm just shaking my head at myself. So laziness can cause major problems, but so far everything's doing fine. My tank's pretty used to having higher parameters. As you guys can see, the refugium is completely full of live rock now. I've got a Reef off to a skimmer running right now, and it is doing fantastically. Aquamatic DC 2.73, whatever it does, 3,000 litres an hour pump. The Jabo doser still running strong. UFO light doing a fantastic job. I get basically basketball sized to 2 basketball-sized balls of Cheeto every probably month. So this tank is fed extremely heavily. I do multiple feedings of flakes, pellets, Meister shrimp, etc. on the daily, but when I do my testing, it doesn't show up because obviously I've got a lot of rock, flow, and good filtration. So you could call it a heavy nutrient tank, but the way it's set up with borderline minimal fish right now, I don't know how many more I would like to add to this tank. My nutrients stay low. One last thing before I let you guys go. I know this is just another boring update. There's nothing really too much happening here. It's just another trend. Like I said, this will be my transition tank. Hopefully I will get a new tank.
Didn't realize how many mushrooms I had. Mushrooms everywhere. I think the increase of flow has made the baby mushrooms grow. That's right, I said that. Over here, those are still doing fantastically.
Now, I do still want to turn this tank into an SPS only tank, but hear me out. It is impossible to find suitable buyers for coral. My LFS doesn't want to take my coral. Fish stores that aren't local don't want to take my coral. When I do put it online, I get lowballed so hard that it's not even worth the effort of these people coming to our home to buy the corals. Now, the only solution I've come up with when I do finally move, get the time, set up a tank, I will probably frag these guys up and then sell the frags for like $5, $10, $20 each. Now, I feel like more people are inclined to buy things that are cheaper instead of buying a bigger item, which is a bit more expensive. Now, mind you, when I do want to sell these, I do want to give people deals and help them out. I will give these things for less than 50% what I paid for. But when people are giving me 1/10 of the money that I've paid for a coral that I've raised, that I've enjoyed and kept pest-free and grown, it kind of just irritates me. But that's just life. On a positive note, the tank is doing fantastically. Everything is doing really well. Everything is growing, encrusting, healing, and yeah, nice and stable. It's actually, I've got coralline everywhere. It's actually really enjoyable right now. I kind of just come in, sit down on my chair, feed my tank, and just really enjoy the growth. Not many corals have been added lately, but maybe that will change. Who knows? That's just life. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my quick rambling video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another one next week.